Am I the a-hole for breaking up with my boyfriend and not giving him closure? I, F46, met my now ex M57, we can call him George, in 2017 through work. We were friendly, but that was it. Late 2017, George received another job offer, so he left and we never spoke again. Fast forward to the end of 2019, and I'm now separated from my then husband, where I get a Facebook request from George. I accept and we chat through FB for a few weeks, and he asked me out on a date. We met up and soon things become hot and heavy. Then the pandemic hit. We spent a lot of time at his place during this time. He was sweet, kind, and he made all my favorite foods. We had common interests and I genuinely enjoyed being around him. With my ex-husband, I was always walking on eggshells, so being with George the first felt like I could relax and be myself for the first time in a very time. Which is probably why I ignored many red flags. One of those red flags were around his family. For example, towards the end of the pandemic, when travel restrictions were becoming more relaxed, George went on a family vacation without me. We've been dating for almost 2 years by this point. I was told there wasn't enough room for me. What did I do? I stayed home and house sat his 2 dogs. During the trip he'd call and say how much he wishes I was there, how much he missed me, and that next year he'd make sure I would be there. I definitely made it know how upset I was about the whole situation and that I absolutely should have been there. This wasn't the last time either. There were 2 other family vacations without me because there wasn't enough room. Now, family is very important to me, which has been clearly expressed to him in more than one occasion. When I'm with someone, I want them to be involved in my life in every way possible. This includes being with and hanging out with my family and theirs. For some reason, he would never bring me around his family. When there happened to be an unavoidable situation where they'd showed up at his house and I was there, he acted like we were just friends. If I approached him in any romantic way, he'd pull away or see it coming and walk in a different direction. I finally called him out on it. I told him that I felt like I was a big secret in his life, and that if I'm such a significant part of his life, then why does he act the way he does when it comes to me and his family? He said that I wasn't a secret and that his family knows me. I said that they may know of me, but they don't know me. Anyway, he swore I had it all wrong, blah blah blah. I forgave him and things went on as usual. I kept waiting for things to change and making excuses on why he doesn't feel like he can introduce me to his family as his girlfriend. I made up so many reasons on why I might not be good enough. Looking back, we never did anything that couples would do. Besides the occasional eat out at a restaurant, we always stayed at his place. He would never come to mine to hang out. Y'all, I was so blind to the truth. So much so that I moved 1,600 miles to be with him. He got a great job offer that required him to move out of state. He asked for me to come with him, and I did. About 6 months later, I put in a transfer with my job. I left all my family and friends and moved to a state where I knew no one. My dog was having a hard time adjusting to a new place with 2 other dogs that would constantly bark at her. She did become a little destructive, but it was nothing that couldn't be easily fixed. He required me to keep her in a kennel, drugged up in order not to do any further damage to the house. Mind you, the damage that was done was just a little piece of molding that was tore up from the floor and a scratch mark on the molding of a door. Simple, easy stuff that could be fixed. Well, flipped his lid over the damage. Anyway, 2 weeks into me moving there, he says, we need to rethink our living situation. Within 2 weeks, I had my own place and was much happier. I continued to still see him throughout the next 10 months. Within the time I've been at my new place, he's only been here twice. The first time was only for about 2.5 hours, and he was more concerned about raking the leaves off his lawn than spending time with me. Which this all kind of leads into why I may be the asshole. I was having an awful week at work. I was dealing with an alleged sexual harassment issue between 2 people in my department. I promised him that I would drive up and see him. Due to the investigation wrapping up, I left late. I left work later than anticipated. I ended up getting caught in a lot of traffic heading to his house, which is about 45 minutes away. I called him to tell him that I was stuck in traffic and asked what he was up to. He said that he was finishing dinner and waiting for his dessert to arrive. Dessert has always been code word for sex for us. I was very clear that I was not interested, that I had a rough day and week and just needed to relax. Well, that didn't stop him from trying for the next hour after I got to his house. Finally, I just went to bed, and when I was half asleep, he said, since you're too tired tonight, you better believe I'm gonna wake you up in the morning. And he did. He woke up early because he was planning to drive a couple hours away to go hunting, so about 6:30 in the morning, he woke me up for his dessert. I quickly did the deed and got out of there as soon as I could. Right then and there I realized that he has reduced our relationship to just sex. I was not a priority to him and never will be. It was nearly 5 years at this point in our relationship, and my eyes were finally wide open. I'm just sad that it took me that long and a move across country to see it. That morning was the last time I seen him. I would make excuses on why I couldn't come over. Finally, a little over a week later, broke up with him. I told him he reduced our relationship to sex, that I was never a priority and will never be, and that I was tired of being a secret in his life. Where he proceeded to say how he never meant to make me feel like that, and how much he loves me, that I am a priority, and blah blah blah. This was 8 months ago. He continues to call. I blocked him. He would email, sent to trash. He would DM me through FB, and he figured out how to call through there. I've blocked him. Now he's calling me, but it's coming across no caller ID. He's called my work pretending to be my ex-husband in order to get me on the phone, and this past week I've come home from work to a note on my door from him stating he needs me, loves me, and wants a chance to make it right. In all the messages that he sends, he always says that he wants a chance to make it right. I've never responded. I've never given any indication that I was interested in reconciliation. I'm not sure if it's closure he's looking for, or does he really think he has a chance of us getting back together. After 8 months of no response and no contact, it should be clear that I do not want a relationship with him. Should I be scared? So am I the a-hole for not responding to his messages and giving him closure? Love stories like this? Then make sure to hit that like button, drop a comment below, and subscribe so you never miss what's coming next.